Welcome to Influential Entrepreneurs, bringing you interviews with elite business leaders and experts, sharing tips and strategies for elevating your business to the next level. Here's your host, Mike Saunders.
Hello and welcome to this episode of Influential Entrepreneurs. This is Mike Saunders, the Authority Positioning Coach. Today we have with us Avadhi Dhruv, who's an international bestselling author, YouTuber, and business guru. Avadhi, welcome to the program.
Hello, Mike. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
You are welcome. Yeah, I'm looking forward to talking with you because I understand that you have written several books for businesses, and I always love, business guru. I want to hear about the path you have taken to become that business guru, because I'm certain that you've learned some hard lessons, and it's not been an easy ride to the top. So get us started with a little bit of your background and your story, and then how did you get into the industry of advising businesses?
Yes, absolutely. So just to do a quick recap, my name is Avadhi. The second A in the spelling is silent, so it's pronounced as Avadhi, and I'm the author of two books. My first book, Inner Genius, Outer Guru, is a heart-centered entrepreneur's guide to unlimited potential for growth in income and freedom in lifestyle without burnout. And that one is an international bestseller and is available on Amazon. And this year I've released my latest release, my second book, which is The Family Business Guru, which is a secret guide to alchemize conflict into harmony, lead with confidence, and generate profit. So altogether, through my books, programs, and my YouTube channel, I help business leaders achieve unprecedented growth along with freedom in their lives so they can experience the ultimate bliss of inner fulfillment. And my clients range from budding entrepreneurs to owners of multi-million-dollar companies. So I actually, more of my personal background, I actually was born in India and grew up in India until I was in high school when I moved to the US. And I come from a global business empire that my family has created, a strong family business background that's inspired by my grandfather who started the empire, and then my father and uncle who built on top of it. And then I'm the third generation with my cousin. And so growing up with this strong family business background, from India, coming from India to the US, and then running multiple businesses here in the US over the past years, has been an enlightening experience in business leadership. And I've faced financial strain, cash flow issues, the pressure of upholding family traditions while innovating through my own cutting edge ideas and technologies. So it's been a balancing act with the family business and personal ambitions and relationships. It's definitely been challenging and very, very rewarding on the other side of it. And so that journey has taught me that it's possible to respect others, speak my own truth, and achieve unimaginable levels of success. So I'm here to share all of that with the audience today. And also, I share all of this and more through my YouTube channel, which I'll mention later.
Neat. Yes, I really appreciate that. And one thing that you keep mentioning is family business. And I remember there's a show on CNBC that I used to watch called The Prophet with Marcus Lemonis, and he used to really be hesitant of investing or helping people that had a family business because of all of those dynamics. What are some of the things you notice when you were working with family businesses and advising those businesses?
Yes, I totally understand why. Actually, there's a statistics that 60% of family businesses end up failing, and that's really alarming to me. But I'm not surprised. There are a lot of strengths that a family business brings because family members, if everything is done right, can turn out to be the most loyal, trustworthy, and dependable team members in a business. And when their strengths are leveraged appropriately, they can turn the business into a huge, yes, like my family has created a global business empire with multi seven figure success. And um, at the same time, what I've noticed is there are a lot of pitfalls that come with family members being involved and all those dynamics within the business, where personal relationships and any strains that might be happening within those relationships can affect the business tremendously. And so I do understand the hesitation that you mentioned from that show. And at the same time, that is exactly why I have decided and written and published my second book, and which is my latest release, The Family Business Guru, because the book talks about all of the pitfalls that can come and how to overcome them so that you can leverage the family dynamics to create success beyond any measure in a business and create a really like a long lasting legacy for the family and in the world through the value that the business creates. So the dynamics and relationships and how to really manage them in a way that creates harmony in the business is very, very critical. And that's what I've
Yeah.
seen working with my clients as well.
Yeah, that's a huge piece, legacy. I love that. And just like with anything, you may have 10 employees that are not related and have issues, and you might have 10 family members and have issues. So talk a little bit about legacy. What is the first place that you are advising your clients on in approaching legacy?
Yes, the first place is fostering healthy family relationships and not just family relationships, any relationships in a business, in the team that um, we- it's important to for a team and the team members to relate with each other so that they can feel like they're part of a family, even if they aren't blood relatives. But when a team in a business feels like it's a family and everyone feels safe and there are healthy dynamics in the and healthy boundaries even in the relationships, and especially when there are actual family members involved, having those healthy relationships that are created through clarity in their roles and healthy boundaries in the business and what the business needs, those are the like foundational pieces that I first work with a client to create that overall harmony in the business. And one thing I notice a lot when there are actual family members involved, because of the spirituality aspect that I bring, that is why my title is a business guru, and the books that I've published are part of the Business Guru series because I bring a unique approach to my work with my clients. And what I do is I bring spirituality together with business, where um, we look at the business and the relationships within the business through the spirituality angle, which is not normal in the industry, but I've found it to be very effective. And when we look at the family dynamics that are playing out in the business and put the spirituality angle and look at it from that lens, we're able to notice a lot of different karmic bonds, as I call it, from my Indian Eastern philosophy background that are at play often. And what we're able to do is look at those very carefully and unravel those knots that can then now create this whole new level of harmony in the family relationships. That's what ultimately creates this strong foundation for a family business legacy.
So Do you get into in the book like passing the business on? Because I work with a lot of financial professionals that work with exit planning. Is that something that you are teaching your clients to do in your book, is planning for the exit?
Yes, succession planning, and that's definitely a big part of the legacy. Especially me being the third generation in my family's business, where my grandfather passed it on to my father. And then, so interesting dynamic that I face, that I tell the whole story of this in the book, is that I'm the only child to my parents and the only daughter. And being the only child and the only daughter, I never actually planned on taking over the family business. I, in fact, went to engineering school and graduated and got a job in the corporate world. And I was going to just build my career separately, where family business and succession was not really my plan. But my
Hmm.
father's, it was the biggest concern my father had, is that what's going to happen with this business I've built after all of these years? Um, who's going to take it over? And so I was help him find a successor in terms of maybe setting up the business for a sale. And so we did that. And ultimately, while I was helping him with all that, I realized that I would actually probably be the best to take it over. And so then we decided that I would be the successor. And now I am. And I'm happy for it, but I was resisting that for a long time. So any, listeners who are maybe in that position with where their parents or family has a business that they're hesitant from taking over because of any kind of concerns they have about being able to take over a family business and how that would show up in their career, or any listeners that are the father, like in my father's position, that are worried about what happens if their children don't take over the business, and how is the succession going to happen? There's answers to all of those questions in my book. And I work with my clients to create that succession plan, whether they are the person who is looking for a successor, or if they are in a position where their family wants to pass it on to them, like I was in that position, and they're not sure how they could handle it. I had a lot of fear about taking over this massive business because I wasn't sure if I would be able to handle it. And
Hmm.
now I know I am, but there are a lot of concerns that come up that need to be tackled there. So yes, the book definitely touches on all of that. And actually the book is designed to be a step-by-step process to create what I call a strategic harmonization plan for across generations and succession, and creating that legacy for the family. So
Yeah. Well, that's really important, because I think that having, like the author Stephen Covey said, begin with the end in mind. You potentially should have a succession plan early on, right? I mean, not just when you've been in business 20 or 30 years. You should be thinking about the succession plan, in the early years. How soon ahead of exiting do you recommend that to be thought of?
yes, I definitely recommend. I love Simon Sinek's Start with Why, and
Mhm.
Stephen Covey, where he says start with the end in mind. So this book is basically a combination of both of those. And like, we need to have a strong why, which is really important for the foundation. And taking over anything, including a family business enterprise, with the right, like, clear why in mind. And also start with why. Start with the end in mind. I mean, is critical. Is That's why thinking about the exit, Now, people sometimes get triggered when we mention exit because, like my father always said, when he entered the family business, my grandfather asked my father to join the family business, there wasn't any exit in mind. It's almost like there is an entry in a family business, but there's no exit. Once you enter, it's like a one-way street. And that's just how by default um it was understood to be. And that's what also was my hesitation, is like, once I enter, what if there's no exit? But in the modern dynamics, it's very important to start with the end in mind, as in have an exit plan. That exit plan can be a sale of the business. It can be some kind of a merger. It can be a succession plan to the next generation, or a team that we create. There are a lot of different creative options that I work with my clients on for the succession and exit plan. But starting with a clear why and a clear strategy for what that exit may even look like, or could look like, a couple different options even, is really important, because then the rest of the growth strategy for the business can be tailored to that exit plan. And then the harmonization plan can be created accordingly. So all these pieces are really important, and I definitely recommend that we look at that and strategize based on the end in mind.
Yep.
From the
100%.
beginning.
Yeah. So, do you feel like many financial planners that say we need to have a quarterly review or an annual review, when you've set in place an exit plan or legacy planning, how often do you recommend that should be reviewed? Maybe quarterly is too much, but should that exit plan be reviewed annually or every other year? What do you think?
The way that I have the strategic system set up, and this is how I work with all my clients, is that we start with a 3 to 5 year or 10-year long-term vision first. So we create a long-term vision, which includes that exit plan, or that start with the end in mind, that in the vision. And then once we have a clear long-term vision, then we break it down into annual goals. So in order to be at this point in 3 to 5 years from now, or 10 years from now, what are the critical goals that we need to focus on this year in the current annual goals? So then once we clarify the goals for the current year, then we break them down into quarterly rocks, as I call it. So we have 3 rocks. The rocks are just top 3 priorities to focus on in the current quarter that contribute towards the annual goals achievement. And so then we have quarterly planning events, where we do all-day events where we do review on a quarterly basis how we're doing as far as focusing on the rocks we've identified, which automatically contribute towards the annual goals, and that automatically contributes to the long-term vision. So everything is connected. And then we also have monthly review, where we every month we evaluate how we're doing on the quarterly rocks, how much progress we've made on those, which all of those connect to the long-term vision, right? So that's how we make sure that everything we do, and then we have weekly metrics that we track. So with the weekly metrics tracking, monthly reviews, quarterly plannings, annual goals, and long-term vision, that entire process is aligned and creates a consistent growth and harmonious relationships and management throughout the journey.
Yep. So begin with the end in mind, and then verify, and stay on track and make adjustments where needed. And that's just so valuable. And I think that really helps that exit plan get executed, and then also leave that legacy that you intended. Because if you put it off too long, then you're rushing around trying to to get things done and you don't have enough time and then you make a poor decision.
Yes, the biggest tragedy I've seen, and I have seen, and this just makes my heart sink because I've seen family businesses that let's say the father started the business and gave it all his like blood, sweat, and tears for years and years, and then at the end but they didn't plan with the end in mind and didn't have a succession strategy, and then they got to a point in their life, well, they can't, this one person I have in mind couldn't really, do all the day-to-day management anymore and didn't have a succession. And they ended up having to sell the business for peanuts versus the value that the business could have really had for nothing, almost give it all away, give like all of their hard work through all of their life because they couldn't handle it anymore. And now their competitor just got their entire life's work for free, almost for free. And they just now they're not even comfortable enough to where they can retire freely, but they had no other choice. And it's just to me, that person deserved a bigger reward than what they settled for. And I just don't, as long as I can help, I would like to help family businesses so they can actually pass on and retain the wealth they created through their business within their family and create a massive value in the world and keep it growing instead of, giving it away for nothing, next to nothing almost.
100%. Well, Avadhi, it's been really great chatting with you and your passion for business owners and family business and your books and all of that. If someone is interested in learning more and then reaching out and connecting with you to pick up copies of your books, what's the best way that they can do that?
Absolutely. They can reach out to me via my website. If they Google me, I'm everywhere. If they search by my name, Avadhi Dhruv, but it should show up my website, which is Avadhi.guru. And I'm on socials. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and prominently on YouTube. Definitely follow me or subscribe to my YouTube channel. The handle is at Avadhi.guru, which is where I have tons of valuable content through videos, healing meditations, to help effectively run your business and prioritize family, especially for family-owned businesses. So I'll see the listeners over on my YouTube channel where they can interact with me through the comments, but they can find my books through my website, www.avadhi.guru. And of course, the books are also on Amazon.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for coming on. It's been a real pleasure talking with you.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been a pleasure speaking with you as well, Mike.
You've been listening to Influential Entrepreneurs with Mike Saunders. To learn more about the resources mentioned on today's show or listen to past episodes, visit www.influentialentrepreneurssradio.com.